Contact.
Jeff Kingsley in the orange and black Acura, damage to that car.
That's exiting turn 3 on the run up to turn 4, I believe. This is disappointing. It's been the fastest car in that class this weekend. And Kingsley had a nice qualifying run put together here yesterday as well.
Just shows you how tight things are here, Calvin.
Deep into the brake zone, look down to the inside. Misha Goikberg in that bright green Lamborghini Hurricane. He squeezes till Bechtelsheimer. He gets into the side of Jeff Kingsley. Contact there. Michael De Quesada to the screen right in the Mercedes. Just squeezes through. 2
Acuras and a Lamborghini coming together and then collecting that gray Mercedes of De Quesada.
In 1980, Paul Sr. ended up remarrying. Shalise Bennett was at a racetrack with her then husband when she ended up meeting John Paul Sr. through that same husband. He ended up taking her for a little joyride, and I guess it was love at first sight. They ended up marrying less than a year later at a freaking racetrack of all places. It was a pretty toxic marriage to say the least. They ended up getting into a huge fight at her work as a Delta flight attendant of all places, where she ended up getting fired. Soon after, she left him and later filed for divorce, getting her own place where she actually was making a living becoming an extra in movies. Paul Sr. later gave her a visit at her rented home in Atlanta where they were discussing their relationship. I guess they decided to end up going to Florida together, specifically the city of Key West where he had his sailboat, and out of nowhere she's just gone, missing, vanished without a trace. To give more context, Clarice Paul actually sued Paul Sr. for alimony and ended up winning in early 1981. She later attempted to divorce him for a second time, and then all of a sudden months later Paul brings her to Key West and she disappears? There's definitely some motives in play. And finally, after all of that, John Paul Sr. actually flew to Haiti and ended up officially divorcing her, because in the States, you can't divorce somebody if they're not present. You're probably thinking at this point there was some type of investigation in the disappearance of Clarice, right? Well, actually no. Her family pretty much took John Paul's word for it. I mean, John Paul Sr. did strong arm them like, hey, I don't know where she's at, stop asking, and they ended up just taking his word for it. There were multiple theories amongst the family of Clarice what happened to her, and yeah, I guess they never really reported it to anybody. I want to remind you that this happened all the way back in 1981. As of this upload, the whereabouts of Clarice Paul are still unknown.
Right up to the top of the racetrack for the leader, Ricky Taylor, made it 3 wide there in Speedway turn 4. Not sure he got the best run through there. Here comes Westbrook again. They go past the better placed of the 2 GT Daytona Corvettes. Here's Westbrook, looks down the inside. He's there, he's up alongside, there's a touch and he spins. Westbrook spins.
Shows you how much I know, doesn't it?
Well, that was robust, it was. And Wayne Taylor is open-mouthed at that move.
It's another busy rush hour in Washington. Drive construction delays heading south on I-95 for the residential.
The nation's capital, the national synonym for gridlock. Today the mood changes, power still rules, but speed matters too. Here in Washington, the exotic racing machines that define the American Le Mans Series are taking it to the streets. This is the politics of precision, a showdown of stars, the Cadillacs, the Audi R8s, and the Panos Roadster. Who will navigate to victory? Who will find the delicate balance between technology and human instinct? In this mecca of power, will dark horses and challengers make their marks? Or will the favorites extend their reign? In a town where the racing never seems to end, a finish line awaits.
Problem for the 44.
Little flame there out of the exhaust, or in the exhaust tailpipe area of the back of the car. There you see it again.
Some engine issues earlier this year. Andy Lally now behind the wheel, but stayed in the thick of this championship fight. This will be a devastating blow with the depth of field in GT.
And there's the four-course caution.
Wow. Ryan Dial is loving this.
Yes, he is. I'm speculating that lost an engine and puked a lot of oil out of the back, bringing this caution out is what I'm thinking. Let's take a look at what happened.
The championship implications here. Andy Lally on a third in GT Championship as they came into this event. I see a glow.
Oh, and I saw it twitch.
Up.
Yeah, it twitched. She just blew it up big
right
time.
out the exhaust pipe. It's spitting oil and it's burning, and that sounded like silverware in a Cuisinart, I'm sure, as he came down to the brake
There's
zone.
oil out there.
Not much though, Dorsey. We're locked up. I mean, it was pretty late down there, so it wasn't like he streamed it around the whole racetrack, so it should be a very quick cleanup.
Now we are under a full course caution, and this is for the second week in a row. This car has caught fire. This is the Magnus Racing Porsche. It caught fire towards the closing stages of the Road America race, and now it's done it again.
That was a blown engine at Road America where the oil in the tailpipe caught fire. This is not the same. As you can tell by the black smoke, this has caught the carbon fiber on fiber. It's hard to say.
John Potter is the team owner, the car owner.
Driver's out of the car. There's good news on this because that's burning pretty well.
Remember, this is the team that leads the North American Endurance Championship standings in GT. So this will not be good for them in that championship, and just puts them deeper into the hole in the overall standings for the season as well.
There's John walking away, which is a really encouraging sight. He's asking the fire marshals just to keep on working.